Jamie, to the. I know everyone knows Jamie, but
a lot of our obviously our wrestling friends know Jamie Dundee. Our non-wrestling friends out there are going to get to find out all about Jamie Dundee here, and we're going to set things up. We're going to give you a little taste from one of his infamous U-shoots. This is Jamie talking about headliners in the wrestling business.
Ooh, there's an open.
Ooh.
For all you goddamn smart marks, finally I cleared this motherfucker up. Remember when USWA went to Dallas, Texas and joined the world class? Yeah. At that time, I was snub muggling 20 pounds of marijuana underneath that fucking bus. Gay, smart, no wrestling promoter. Any end of that question. Randy Savage has this fucking nigger named Thunderbolt Patterson. I don't know him, but he's a fucking nigger. If you got a problem with me, nigger, you come find me, bitch. You don't sit me up no parking lot, you punk-ass bitch. Iron Sheik, I'm fucking you, Ric Flair. It's Bam Bam Bigelow. When he was 15 years old, you fucking retard, he tattooed flames on his head. Do you know any other fucking person on this planet at 15 years old that tattoos flames on their fucking head? My dad pulls the pistol, puts it in fucking the daddy's mouth. Randy Savage's brother Lenny jumps on his brain. My dad says, get him off or I'll fucking heal. When my dad gets on the phone, he says, arrest my dad. Hello? Hello? Hi, Bill Dundee. Hey, it's Bill Dundee. Hold on, Bill Dundee. I'm doing my shoot interview on the internet. I did walk in the shower in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and I'll say it today, and I said it last fucking year, and 4 years before that, I turned the light on, and Jerry Lawler, Frank Brown, Jeff Jarrett turned the light off. And Miss Texas was on her knees sucking all three of their dicks. And I don't give a fuck who's mad about it. Public Enemy, dead. Both the motherfuckers, dead. Where'd he get the gimme? Me and Wolf. Because I believe Brian Christopher, you'd had to kill him first. He'll fucking party. He'll shoot some dope and goddamn snort and smoke and fucking get down and buck wild with the rest of them. But he ain't taking no dick in the ass. Fuck, Dewey, you told me when we were like 10. I remember coming over in them poor-ass projects you lived in because your dad didn't make no money. My dad did, and you come to my big old house, now you ain't gonna let me come to your big house.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the rotation, the one and only, the legendary Jamie Dundee. Jamie, welcome in the rotation, my friend.
Where did y'all get that? That wasn't me. Where did y'all get that footage? That wasn't me.
Yeah, no, we have video and everything.
Wow.
Yes.
Somebody said that on video. That man must be crazy.
Jesus. No, that was great.
So what's going on in the world of Jamie Dundee these days? What are you up to?
I'm not up to none of that. I don't do drugs and drink. I tell you what, that video that you just played, that if people could see themselves the way they acted on video, I believe a lot of people would do what I did and quit doing drugs and quit drinking and quit. Because that video, I thought, wow. When I saw that, I thought, fuck me. I said it. It's true. All of it's true.
Jesus.
But I mean, wow, man. That's one thing I'm kind of ashamed of is that video, and y'all started the show with that video. But I mean, it's okay. That was me, and I said it, and I did it, and I can't take it back, and fuck you if it offended you.
And that's what we love about you, Jamie, man. You've always had a reputation in the wrestling business as a guy that speaks his mind, and whether you like to hear it or you don't, you're going to get the truth with Jamie Dundee, right?
That's true. I mean, that's one thing you can say about me is I'm a bullshitter and I have fun and I say shit that I probably stretch the truth a little, but I believe I read somewhere a few weeks ago somebody typed under one of my videos said amongst his lies is a whole lot of truth.
Put it on a t-shirt.
I mean, yeah, for real.
No, that's awesome. So yeah, obviously you've made some life changes. You're not wrestling much these days, are you?
Nah, man, wrestling sucks. It's dead. I only wrestle when it's fun. So if it's not fun for me, I'm not going. I'm not going to sit in the dressing room, listen to all these fucking idiots talk about Monday Night Raw and Cena should get the belt. I'm not doing none of that because when real wrestlers got together, we don't talk about that. So,
yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know.
You're sitting in the dressing room and that's what they're talking about. None of them there are wrestlers anyway, so I don't want to be there.
It's funny you say that. We just had a guy on before you. He's a local guy. and he thinks he's just great shit, and he had a shoot tape already. So we had him on to humiliate him a little bit, to stop talking like a fool. So.
That's and that's what he needs.
Yeah, right.
How often did you see that towards your last bit of indie stuff? It's everywhere, right? I mean, everywhere.
Oh, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. See, what has happened is the marks pay the wrestlers to show up. So when a person calls you now, that 90% of the time they're marks anyway, and so I hit them with a price so fucking high. I hope they say no.
Yep.
But if they don't say no, I'm gonna go. but if they're gonna pay me to listen to this bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, man.
And don't you also see that every company just copies the TV product? Like, I mean, down to the Money in the Banks, down to copying the names.
Right. You see, that's in the wrestling business. Nobody thinks for themselves anymore. It's not, they watch it on TV and they think, well, I'll do it here too. But I mean, it's not even wrestling. I don't know. They all have working jobs, and wrestlers wrestle 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I didn't see no Christmases, no birthdays, no nothing for nobody but me. That's why as a wrestler you learn to love yourself more than everybody else, because you're always with yourself. I guess.
Good point.
Take us back. I mean, you talked about being a kid and being around the wrestling business. I mean, what are some of the memories of being a kid, being around that?
It's, like I've said it a lot of times. I hated wrestling growing up. I guess because I grew up in it. I didn't really care about wrestling, but I cared about like hanging out with my dad on Saturday nights at the fairgrounds because I got to be a little star. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's where it goes back to. Like I said before, I would tell my daddy, God, man, all these old redneck women, they stink, Daddy, and they want hugs and kisses and shit, man. And he would say, well, charge them. I'd say, all right. So I would go out and make $20 or $30 for hugs and kisses. So I loved it. At a young age, I realized I could rape, pillage, and plunder these people in a nice way to say it.
It's funny because Ian Rotten's son, John Calvin, we knew him when he was a little kid, kind of growing up in the business, and we saw kind of how the business affected him growing up. Obviously, you've got those legendary stories too of wrestlers of your wrestling pals of your dad, giving you things that opening up access to things that you wouldn't have seen at such a young age, right?
Of course. But once I realized at 7 or 8 I could sell kisses for $1, by the time I was 13, brother, I was selling dick. I didn't care, man. I was a pimp. Whatever. Just give me money and drugs and let me ride, man.
Yeah. Well, I bet. I lost my train of thought totally. Sorry, man. You got me flung.
Yeah. No. Well, so what are you up to these days? What is entertaining you on a day-to-day basis?
Me, I guess. Actually, family. It's my first time. I got a 3-year-old daughter that lives. It's my first time I've been a dad. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of children. It ain't no fucking secret. You know what I'm saying? But this is the first time I've had a family that I liked. And that's probably sick and sad to say, but it's the fucking truth, man. I like just me. From 1988 to fucking 2001, it was all about me. And from 2001, 2004, it was about me fixing me, and then. Now I got a family I like, and I'm not saying I don't love my other children and stuff, but this is my family, the one I chose. You know what I'm saying? And it, because of the world I lived in, you know what I'm saying? It was either them or me, and I chose me, and I'm sorry, and I can't take it back. And if it offends you, fuck you. That's all I say.
Is this the first time that you've actually stopped wrestling?
I go to plays with my kids, and I take them to see Santa Claus, and I go to movies, and I guess I live a normal life for the first time, and I like it. It's pretty cool. It gets slow sometimes, but it's all right.
Is this the first time, I guess, since being a kid that you've actually stopped wrestling?
Oh, very much so. Yeah. I mean, minus jail trips or something.
Sure.
A few months in jail, man, they wouldn't let me wrestle. But apart from that, yeah, of course. I didn't know nothing else. What else would I do? I knew nothing else.
What's your favorite jail story?
Fuck. Me and Ricky Morton wrote letters back and forward for about 4 months when we were both locked up for child support. Now, that's a hell of a jail story. Legendary Rock and Roll Express and PG-13 writing letters back and forth from jail cells.
Wow, that's great. Do you still have those letters?
Well, of course, I have everything. 'Cause,
Awesome.
I mean, you look behind me, you can see this is my I Love Jamie room. I live with 4 daughters, a wife, and a mother-in-law, and I have no fucking man time. So I come back here to my man cave and drink my beer and smoke my weed and watch videos of myself and eat Cheetos in a beanbag naked.
There's an image for you, folks.
Do you watch any current wrestling product at all right now?
Fuck no. You couldn't pay me to watch the wrestling. And now, like, people will call me and say, hey, on this, WWE 24/7, they're running you and Wolfie's fucking this, and I'll go watch that. But as far as, no way, man, it's garbage. It's fucking so boring, and everybody looks so much the same. And half of the guys I knew before they became their new pin, I don't know who the fuck they are. They all look so much alike, and you know what I'm saying? I can't bring myself to watch it.
Yeah, we're kind of in the same boat these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Looking back though, the first time I remember really knowing much about you was ECW, and those promos. The one in particular on pay-per-view. It seemed like you guys came out of nowhere and you cut that promo, and you guys, it was like a near riot that night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fucking bad. But that's kind of what made me and Wolfie different from ECW. When you go to ECW show, you expect to see all their ECW shit, and then we bring ours to it. It was like bringing an ECW match to Memphis. You know what I'm saying? It was a one match, and it was fucking exciting, and people were thrilled to see it, but only one time, and us too. We were, and it paid the same for me to sit out there and talk and let Wolfie work or fucking do all that crazy shit. So I said, just give me that microphone. Let me do what I do.
Did Paul Heyman know ahead of time of what exactly how far you were going to take it, or did he just say, did he give you that freedom to go out there and cut whatever promo you felt, or
he gave me freedom until I crossed a few lines, like there was a guy in a wheelchair, and I'm like, what the fuck you looking at, Christopher Reeves? And he's like, oh, Johnny, he can't go there. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't go there? Fuck him. He's not Superman anymore. So, in some lines, he said, wow, that's even too much for ECW, man. I'm like,
that's saying something. That's saying something when you're too extreme for ECW, huh?
My mouth, and I love the black and white things because I would always pull the OJ out on them and shit. Bitch, are you crazy? Don't you watch the OJ trial? So I mean, he would say, Dundee, you got to tone that down, man.
What was the favorite part of your career, man? What was the time when what was the best time in the business for you?
Wow, man, I don't know, man. It was fuck. I started having fun at the get-go, man. That's why if I look back, there's a lot of things I probably would have changed in a business sense, but having fun, going everywhere, somebody else paying all the bills, it was fucking fun from the start to the finish, man.
What would you have changed? What's that one thing that sits in your stomach?
I would have changed, like when we went to the WWF. See, when you go to the WWF, you're supposed to go there as a young guy, and you got to be quiet and. See, when I went there, fuck you. My daddy gave Shawn Michaels his first match. I knew the Undertaker when he fucking carried bags for somebody. Fuck you. None of you are above me, and so, fuck you. If it wasn't for my daddy, you wouldn't even have to be here, bitch, so who the fuck are you? So, I probably would have went in there and not done nothing different. I'd sit there and lie and say I'd change it, but I wouldn't change it. Fuck them.
But obviously, if you think back, if you'd have been just a tad more humble, maybe things would have worked out longer for you.
As far as a business sense wise, if I would have just, but how can I turn me off? I'm me. You know what I'm saying? It's not a gimmick. It's no bullshit. I'm me, and I can't help it. And if you don't like it, fuck it. Ain't nothing I do about it. It ain't something I turn on and turn off. I am me. Everybody that really physically knows me as a person comes to my house or thing. I'm no different anywhere. So. I don't know. I say I would change it, but I would be lying. I can't change it.
What was it like getting a job back then for Vince? I mean, in a spot you were in. I mean, were you able always to get a chance?
No, I never got chances because my daddy was Bill Dundee, and my daddy fucking offended everybody and smacked Paul Heyman in the mouth and kicked Jimmy Cornette in the fucking ass and turned Vince McMahon down 3 times. So Wolfie actually talked to Jimmy Cornette, and they came up with however the rapping gimmick came up with, and that's where I found out about it. But I mean, and then ECW, Paul Heyman called. I never tried to go nowhere else. I loved being in Memphis. I knew every motherfucker, and I knew I was took care of, and I knew I could make enough money, and I didn't really care if I went anywhere. It was fun when I went, but I didn't give 2 shits if I really went.
What stands out when the first time that you realized, holy shit, I'm a wrestling star. Like when you're down in Memphis, I mean, being in that area is, especially the time frame you were able to do it. What was like the first? You have to remember. What was the first time when you were like, holy shit?
Well, like my very first match in the Mid-South Coliseum when I was 17 years old against Downtown Bruno, it was a little bitty simple match